All right, welcome back to the channel. Tyson Fury, a man in a glass house throwing bricks at Deontay Wilder, says Deontay Wilder looked terrible in his fight against Luis Ortiz, losing every round to a 50-year-old man. Man, this guy does not stop with his foolishness. Let's talk about Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder in this fight that's supposed to be coming up again between the two of them in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel, subscribers. If you are not subscribed, accept my invitation to subscribe to the channel. Also, please hit the bell icon and so you can be notified of when we release more videos. Thank you so much to the two big communities with the page, the Patreon community. Thank you guys for your support and your encouragement on the conversations we have, not boxing related. Also to the live stream community that comes Monday through Friday and OG Boxing Talk on Sunday mornings, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right, now Tyson Fury, like I said when this started, is a man in a glass house throwing bricks out at Deontay Wilder. Says that Deontay Wilder looked terrible. It was a terrible performance against Luis Ortiz because, you know, he lost every round to a 50-year-old man. Now, let's address this terrible performance first and quickly, but then let me describe for you the glass house in which Tyson Fury is living, talking about somebody else looking terrible. First, Deontay Wilder. I find this very interesting. I've said this on in the live streams. I'm going to say it in this video. There are people who consider themselves or hold themselves out to be unbiased boxing fans and commentators that have not given Deontay Wilder a single round in 5 fights, that Deontay Wilder has not scored a knockdown in. Get this, 5 fights. Certain people have said Deontay Wilder lost every round. Deontay Wilder lost every round against Gerald Washington. Deontay Wilder, it was a first round knockout against Bermane Stiverne. But, you know, hey man, maybe he was losing up until then. But so he didn't win. I guess he won that. Well, no. There were no rounds, so that's 2. Number 3, he goes in against Luis Ortiz. According to them, he lost every round that there wasn't a knockdown in. Then Tyson Fury, he lost every round that there wasn't a knockdown in. And now Ortiz again, he's lost every round that there wasn't a knockdown in. I'm sure the same, I didn't go back to look at what people said about Spilka, but I'm sure the same thing applied to Spilka, Dupakis, whatever. Why would you give every close round on your scorecard to Deontay Wilder's opponent if you were not just looking for a reason to say that he lost the round? You couldn't find any in 5 fights worth of rounds where Deontay Wilder didn't score a knockdown in. You couldn't find one close round to give him. Not one. None of the first 5 rounds in the Tyson Fury fight where nothing basically happened. Well, nothing happened. Give the round to Fury. Would he jiggled his fat around a little bit or something? Regardless, he uses the word until. Terrible fight until, right? Until he got knocked out. The right hand was getting set up the whole fight. If you've not heard 78 Sports TV's latest interview, exclusive interview with Deontay Wilder, go to his channel, definitely listen to it, where he talks about exactly what he was doing and how he was setting up Luis Ortiz, looking for the knockout on Luis Ortiz, because he predicted that he was going to have a knockout. He gave you a knockout. Seems to me that he did exactly what he set out to do. That's ring generalship. That's clean, effective punching, and it's a win, period. Another win. I just find it interesting, man. I bet you that some of these people would watch 42 straight rounds of his fights and never give him a round that there wasn't a knockdown. I'm surprised they didn't claim that he lost 10 rounds to nothing against Bermane Stiverne, 12 rounds to nothing against Bermane Stiverne. Okay, so anyway, that's the foolishness about how bad he looked until the guy punched the spirit out of the back of the neck of of like Marcellus Wallace, in that movie Pulp Fiction where they got the tape on the back of his neck. And the big mystery is, why do they have a tape on the back of his neck? Oh, well, that's where the devil extracted his soul. You know what I mean? So this guy, Luis Ortiz, is literally with that Marcellus Wallace Pulp Fiction Band-Aid on the back of his neck for the rest of his career. But let's talk about why specifically Tyson Fury's glass house is there. Boy, you just got beat up by Otto Wallin. Are we supposed to forget that? Are we supposed to forget that you went 12 rounds gushing blood from a 6-7 inch cut over your eye against Otto Wallin? And you got wobbled in the 12th round against him? That fight, more than likely, if it was anybody other than trying to protect Tyson Fury, that fight should have been stopped on cuts. Fights with much less significant cuts have been stopped. You got beat up by Otto Wallin. But yet you're talking about Deontay Wilder losing rounds to Luis Ortiz. Doth your hypocrisy know no bounds? No, it does not. But let's go beyond looking terrible in the ring, okay? Let's talk about the fact that you really didn't in the Otto Wallin fight. Let's go back to Tom Schwartz. Dude, you never even put Tom Schwartz on his behind. When is the last time Tyson Fury's actually knocked somebody down? Was it Steve Cunningham? Was that the last? And then you had to cheat to knock him down and cuff his head to the side and punch him and hit him after you literally cuffed his head and hit him. And you got knocked down by him. You got knocked down by a cruiserweight. You got hurt by a cruiserweight. He got gashed open and wobbled by Otto Wallin. Hey, come on, man, it's Otto Wallin, and you know dang well that's Otto Wallin. He never managed to knock down Sefi Saviri. He never knocked down Pineda. He never seriously hurt any of those guys. Never hurt Tom Schwartz. Never hurt. What do you mean? You're supposed to be this great fighter who doesn't get any knockouts, who never actually hurts anybody. You flick around, grab and hold, and shake your love handles. What looks so good? What looks so good about Tyson Fury? I'm struggling to see it. But besides the fact that he has not looked good in a fight, period, that I've seen since Vladimir Klitschko. Because he didn't look good against Deontay Wilder because he got dropped twice. The biggest highlight of that thing is him doing a nesty plunge on his back. But let's talk about how bad you make people look outside the ring. This is a guy who has never, not one time, defended a championship. He has never walked into the ring a champion in his career. Not once. This is a guy that's supposed to be the number one. He's the best fighter in the world. How many fighters in the history of boxing could you say had a legitimate argument for being the best fighter in the world who has never walked into the ring, not once, as a champion? I can't think of anybody. And let me repeat this. Tyson Fury has never walked into a boxing ring as the champion. He beat Vladimir Klitschko, then he tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs. He went on whatever kind of drug binge he had and whatever other kind of excuses that he had for his problems in his life. And if you listen to the interview with Deontay Wilder and on 78 Sports TV on his channel, Deontay Wilder actually talks about and describes very much what depression sounds like. About what it is like to have a bunch of money and never feel like leaving the house, how boxing can really drag you down. It can be the height of heights. It can be the low of lows. And I'm listening to him describe that and I'm like, wow, that really sounds very much like something you might have experienced before. Did Deontay Wilder say, hey man, I've dealt with depression But hey, what can you do? You got to get up. You got to keep fighting. You got to keep moving on. Deontay Wilder never used his experience as a way to sell and get sympathy for himself and duck around the issue that you got tested positive for performance enhancing drugs. Did depression make you put the dope in your system? Like the steroids in your system? And by the way, your body did look significantly different for the Tyson Fury fight. For the Vladimir Klitschko fight than it has looked in other fights. But, that's not making Tyson Fury look bad at all, right? No wins against a top opponent in the last 4 years. Never, ever walking into the ring as a champion. Getting beat up by Otto Wallin and needing special privileges not to have the fight stop so that you can even be at the point where there could be a Deontay Wilder rematch. And I haven't even touched on Tyson Fury ducking the rematch. Big glass house and the man is throwing bricks. Anyway, and they got them making up some fantasy lineal title for him. Get out of here. Anyway, it is what it is. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.